if you're a CEO, an MD, or a founder, I've got a question for you. How much of your week are you actually spending working on the business rather than being pulled back into it? Because there's a pattern I see quite a lot in growing businesses. You've hired great people, you've given them responsibility, and on paper, things have been delegated. But somehow, everything still seems to find its way back to you. The difficult customer, the unusual decision, the quote that needs checking, the problem nobody's quite sure how to handle, or that meeting that can't move forward until you've given an opinion. And very often, none of those things are huge on their own. It's the accumulation of them over time. 10 minutes here, a quick Teams message there. Can I just run something past you? Before I send this, can you have a look? What would you do about this? And suddenly, your day has disappeared. Now, the problem isn't necessarily that you've got the wrong people. And it isn't about telling everyone to simply just stop asking you questions. Often, the business just hasn't caught up with the knowledge that's still sitting in your head. Because ultimately, you know what good looks like. You know which customers need handling differently. You know when you've prepared to bend a rule, maybe. And you know what matters most. You've probably built the judgement over years of running the business. But if nobody else has enough clarity, authority, or context to make those calls, and they can't be confident about it, they're always going to come back to you. Now that creates a much bigger problem. Because while you're spending your time answering questions, the business should be increasingly able to answer without you. What aren't you doing? Are you spending enough time thinking about where the business is going? Are you building important relationships? Are you developing your leadership team? Are you looking for new opportunities? And are you able to think 3 years ahead rather than just getting through a Thursday? Because that's where a CEO or founder can add enormous value. Now, the goal isn't to make you redundant from your own business, but it is to make sure that your business doesn't require your involvement for everything. And that usually comes down to fairly practical things. Just some clear ownership, better defined decision making, consistency in ways of working, giving people the information that they need, and making sure that knowledge isn't locked in one person's head. And ultimately building enough confidence in the business that everything doesn't have to travel upwards before it can move forwards. So, perhaps the question isn't, could my business run without me? Perhaps it's, how much more could I do for this business if it didn't need quite so much of me? Because growth should eventually give a leader more capacity to lead, not simply a bigger business to personally hold together. You don't need to do a disappearing act from your business. It just needs to stop coming back to you for everything.